guys, Mix here, and in today's video we are back and continue on with our newest build of swapping in this engine out of a 1980 Honda CB750C that we recently got running for the first time in 20 years, just by doing basically a top-end rebuild, and we're going to be swapping that into this half-scale NasKar. So, in last video, we basically prepped the half-scale NasKar for this engine and planned out how I want to do this. But my whole kind of plan changed after I posted it, and a lot of you guys commented, well, pretty much all of you, and said that I can't use aluminum, which I planned on using at first. So I went ahead and canceled my order, and now we're gonna go ahead and use steel, but not like a steel plate, like steel tubing, and mount it from the frame. So now that I think about it, you know, thanks to you guys commenting and everything, that is a way better idea, and it'll save a lot of space. And then a ton of you were also saying to try and mount the axle under the frame, which would be really helpful. Now I haven't really looked at this yet to see how I could possibly do that, but I'm sure if I just look at it for a little while, I could try and figure out a way. So we could be doing this today. I do still need to wait on the tubing to come. I don't even think it's even shipped out yet, which kind of sucks, but I can't do anything about it. So today we're going to be heading to my favorite place to get my tools, Harbor Freight, and picking up the welder and basically all of the supplies that we need to get this done. And there's a lot of little details that I want to explain to you guys, but I'll explain it while we're on the way to Harbor Freight, so I'll see you guys in the truck. Alrighty guys, so we are on the way to Harbor Freight, and I just kind of want to walk you guys through basically what I'm gonna get. I know a lot of you guys were suggesting like welders, you know, for example, and which one I should get. Now I don't really plan on welding a lot. I mean, just like every once in a while with like the builds that we do. So I don't think I need like an all-out hardcore one, you know, that's like for professionals. This is my first welder. I've never welded, and most of you guys were saying just get like the $100 Harbor Freight one and just change out the cord for like a Lincoln, you know, better material. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And then some of you guys were also suggesting to get the Vulcan 140, which Harbor Freight also sells, and I heard a ton of good things about that one. And I actually was going to get that one until I saw the price tag of $650. So I don't think my 20% off coupon is going to do much for that. That's a little bit out of the budget. So I'm probably just going to get like the $180 170 volt welder. I heard some pretty good things about that one as well, so I think that one is definitely going to be my choice. And then along with also buying the welder today, I'm going to pick up like a vise, the welding gloves, and I'm not sure if I'm going to buy my welding mask there or not, just because I don't want to, you know, cheap out when it comes to your safety and like your eyes and everything. So I might get a Lincoln Electric helmet. I'm pretty sure Lowe's sells them. I know Vulcan at Harbor Freight does sell pretty good welding helmet, but it's like 150 bucks, and a Lincoln one is like 90. So I don't know what the difference is there. I might need to check that out a little bit. But the only issue I think that we might run into with the welding is the outlet. Now I have one of those 3-prong outlets, but I don't know if it's the same for a welder, so that's another thing I'm gonna have to look at. I know that whenever I go to Harbor Freight, a lot of you guys want me to record me shopping, but honestly, it's a little awkward carrying around the big camera in there and filming everything. So I'm gonna try and just show you guys what I'm getting and everything. I don't know, now that I think about it, I don't know if I'm gonna fit it all in the S10, so I'm definitely not, to be honest. I have some budget cords, so I might need to just throw them in the bed, but of course it's raining out, so definitely don't want to get the welder wet. But I guess while we're on our way, I'll give you guys a little update with the truck, because I know a lot of you have been asking, you know, for videos with it when I did a couple little build series, not even series, just like I did the exhaust and intake on it. But nothing's really changed since. I mean, just got this baby service, so she's running mint. But I do plan on kind of modding up the exhaust a little bit. I think I'm going to do the Ford Lightning style side pipe, which is pretty sick, and it should sound really good. I was watching a couple videos on YouTube on how they sound with the 4.3 side piped, and it sounds beastly. Since these engines have literally the same exact parts as a Chevy 350, it sounds super throaty for a V6. So I don't know if I'm going to record doing the side pipe and everything. I also plan on doing like smoked out tail lights and headlights and everything like that, and rims and tires. So comment down below if you guys would want to see the installation on the truck as a video. But guys, we are pulling up now, so I guess I'll see you in Harbor Freight. So guys, I'm leaving Harbor Freight now, and I was actually able to fit everything in the S10, which is pretty impressive. Now, I didn't get the welder that I was going to get, and I'll explain that once we get home, so see you then. Alright guys, so we're back in the shop, and here is everything I bought at Harbor Freight. So I'll walk you guys through basically everything I have and why I got it. So first off, just like the basic stuff, the gloves, earmuffs just for like when we're cutting stuff with the new cutoff wheel, and a little file just to like file off all the paint that we need to when welding, rather than like grinding it down and possibly thinning out the steel. And then a vise. I've never had a vise, even though I've forever needed one. I don't know why I never really even got one. Out of all the years I've been doing this, I've always just took like vice grips and clamped down what I need to do, but this should definitely be a huge help. Basically, I just clamp down the pipe that's on the way for the engine mounts and cut it with the cutoff wheel where it's marked, so that should definitely be a big help. And now onto the welder. So I was gonna get the MiG 170 welder that they had there, but then I saw this one, which I really haven't looked at yet, and I went back and forth for like 20 minutes trying to decide whether to get the Flux 125 or the MiG 170, and honestly, this one just seemed like basically for what I needed. It's basically the same thing as a MiG, but honestly this is perfect because I can weld outdoors with it, you know, with the wind and everything, because I did plan on just welding it outside and everything, because I don't want to risk getting another fire in here. I pushed my luck with that. And it's super easy to carry around, you know, obviously I don't have a lot of space or anything, so the size of it, and this is supposed to be really, really good. I mean, I watch reviews and everything, and it's perfect for what I need for a alloy steel, which is what I'm going to be using. And best of all, it plugs into like one of these like normal outlets, just like that, and not one of those crazy three-prong ones, which is what the MiG 170 had, and basically every other welder there. So this one should do perfectly fine. And it also came with like a little wire brush, a mask, which is nice, and the flux core welding wire, which, I mean, I might just try it out while it's in there and just see how it is, and maybe just practice with that one. And then once it's time for the real deal, I could get the good stuff like the Lincoln Electric one. And then finally, I just got a little welding cart, just because if I'm going to be welding outside, I don't want the fans in this thing to really suck up any dirt or anything. Like, I don't want to just lay this in the grass or something. So that should definitely keep it nice and organized as well, and make it easier to roll around. So right now, I just kind of want to set up everything, like, you know, mount the vise where I want it on the workbench, unbox the welder, and build the welding cart, put it all together, and then once it's time, when the pipes come, everything will be ready and we could jump right into working. So let's get started putting this all together now. So guys, I just finished up putting in the new vise, and that's working nice, super tight now. And then I also finished up putting together the new welding cart. So one thing I really liked about this and why I bought it is how short it is, and I could fit it under this, you know, save some space. So that's cool. And now I want to open up the main prize right here, the actual welder itself. So I'm gonna pull this out real quick and see how it looks. There she is. Woo. Wow, this cardboard is like wood. That's crazy. So guys, everything is out of the box, and all the little components here are in the styrofoam. I do want to take the lens out of its plastic bag and slap it into the shield just to see how it is. Alright, let's see. I can't see anything. So that's good. Here's what the mask looks like inside. So At least that's good, and it's ANSI approved, so pretty happy about that. If that wasn't on there, I probably would have just thrown this out, but at least I know it's not like Chinese approved and it's ANSI approved, because I'm sure this was made in China, unless it was actually made in Chicago. Well, here is a little bit of a closer look at everything. It even came with a little pamphlet showing like what weld should look like and how to correct it and everything, so that's pretty cool. My welds are probably going to look like this, if not worse. Hopefully it'll be looking like that soon. But I'm pretty sure we have everything besides the actual piping itself, which I'm just waiting on. I wish it was here so I could get started, but next video will be, I know I said last video that we will be doing it next video, which is now this video, but I ended up switching to the steel, as I said earlier, and I had to cancel my order with aluminum, so just gotta wait on that. But for now, everything will be here and ready. But now that we have everything that we needed ready to go, I want to go ahead and just throw out all this trash and start checking out this axle over here. Right over here, where one of these axle brackets are, there are 3 bolts, 1, 2, and then there's one underneath, and there is a good amount of space above them, and I'm pretty sure if I loosen those, then the axle will drop down until it's at the top of this little bracket. Now I know that putting the axle under the frame will definitely be easiest for us, but I also don't want to have a monster truck ride height on this. Now I did say a couple videos back that I do want this to be slightly taller than how it is, because it is currently a really low rider, but I don't want it to be that high that it just looks awful and it's kind of tippy. So right now the axle is 5 inches from the bottom of the frame, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably take off both of the tires, loosen up those brackets, and see how much it goes down. And then if it doesn't go a lot, then I can start checking out, if I have to, how I can go about putting this axle underneath. Wow. So I just finished up lowering down the axle, and it definitely looks way lower. So I'm gonna whip out the tape measure and see how much it went down, and the amount that it goes down changes if I keep the axle like this. It'll change how high the engine is by the amount of inches that it went down from 5. Alright, so let's see how much lower it went. It went down just a little bit over 1 inch, which is actually pretty good. And putting this axle under the frame won't really be that hard. Basically, in theory, what I would do if I was good at welding and everything is I would cut off this bracket and add another U, how this is underneath here, and then basically just add the bracket in between that U and the bottom on both sides, and then it'll be under there. But once again, I would have to wait on the piping to come so I can bend it and cut it how I need it to be and make that U shape in order for the bracket to fit in it. So right now I'm kind of stuck on what I should do. If I should try to attempt and put it underneath, or what I was just thinking is to take off the top of this bracket and drill it basically almost to the tip of it, but not too skinny that it like loses all of its strength, but basically like from like there, and add probably about ½ an inch to lower it even more to about probably 3 1/4 inches from the bottom of the frame. It would be really nice to have the axle underneath there so that the engine could rest on this. So if I were to just eyeball this and kind of estimate from like the middle of this bracket right about there, so it's 3 1/2 inches from there to the bottom, and if I add 3 1/2 inches from the bottom of the frame, the axle is definitely going to be pretty low. So it's going to be like around ½ a foot taller than what it already is. So guys, what I think I might do, since I can't really make up my mind here, is bring it to you. Should I leave the axle like this, which is about little under 4 inches from the frame, or should I drill into these brackets and lower about another 1.25 inches and bring it down somewhere to like the high 2-inch range from the bottom of the frame? Or should I go ahead and attempt to create my own bracket underneath it and drop the axle underneath the frame completely. You guys are just invested into this build as I am. You're along for every step of the way, so you guys definitely deserve a part in this build and to help me decide with this. So unfortunately, I'm going to be ending the video here. I was really hoping to have the piping in by this video and get to use my welder, but next video 100% will be modifying this axle or keeping it the way it is and mounting up the engine, and I guess we'll see if we can get even more done from there. So stay tuned for that. You won't want to miss it. And once that piping comes, I know I've been a little bit slow on the videos for like the past two, but we should be right back on track and grinding this thing out until it is done. But I'm going to be ending it off here. Follow my social medias. They'll be in the outro of this video. Instagram and Snapchat I use the most. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and tell your friends about the channel.